What is good, gentlemen? Welcome to Scarlet Classic 7. Today it is only me here, Keldric, here to bring you quarterfinals for the tournament here. Today we have for you RUL9, which I believe is the 3rd seed, playing against PSU White, the 6th seed. And the winner of this will be facing the winners of Rutgers Needs Jerseys versus Nispral V9 in the semifinals. We're going to be hopping into draft fairly soon. I believe that there is a very small holdup, but we should be able to get you that very quickly. Running stream and casting is a bit of a pain in the ass, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. Oh god, everything is a fucking fire, everything's falling apart. Hold on, is this wait. This button right here, I believe, is the magic button I need. And I hit transition, and it's all coming together now. Let's go. And we're immediately kicking off the draft, just what the doctor ordered. PSU did lose the coin flip interest, and RUL9 did end up picking the. Oh god, it's all falling apart. Huh, wrong button. There we go. Okay, fixed. Okay, yeah. RUL9 did pick red side here. Gonna be Cassio from PSU White, with Candelo playing in the mid lane. Cassio, most played champion, climbed a challenger with it. Very successful, so it's gonna be banned out first. Meanwhile, on the other side, we got a Lee Sin ban coming in hot. I believe their jungler, KR Gank, does have his most played being that right next to Nidalee. But Lee Sin a bit easier to execute on than the Nid, so it makes sense that they're targeting that rather than the Nidalee. And meanwhile, it's going to be Rakan ban, targeted at Kaimai, who was played, and then Jinx, who is still pretty strong this match despite the nerfs. Very, very scary to lane against. And it's going to be a blind pick Ahri mid lane. Very, very safe champion, has 3 dashes to get out. Utility focused. And overall, just pretty safe if you don't want to show your hand early in the draft. RUL9, I expect probably jungler here. That's usually how Cynical likes to roll, but no, it's going to be Zeri first pick here. Incredibly strong champion. Getting nerfed fairly soon in 12.7, I think. Their Riot Games still trying to figure out what they want to do with the champion there. And it's going to be Nautilus as well to round out the bot lane here, unless Zeri does get flexed. It is still possible. I'm not sure if Candel plays it, but maybe it can go towards top lane 4, ult Unforgiven there. And it's just going to be the Nautilus for Kaimai. Nice, very simple champion. Press R, lock him down. And one thing you could do is maybe Nasus support. Very, very strong into champions like Barry, but no, gonna be Ashe Kench. Perma slow, very, very safe bot lane. Kench, although he does still have his identity as like, oh, you can pick and choose one person to save with the Devour, uh, isn't as strong in post 6, but pre 6, he really does shine with the added knockup in his kit. Super duper strong in lane, really allowed to box with these melee supports like the Nautilus, like the Leona. And of course, very safe as well. If your Ashe does get devoured, you can eat her up, give her the huge shield, get her out of there. Your time of need. And it's gonna be Oriana as the counter. Not even, I'd say counter, but as the matchup mid here for RUL9. Really makes you wonder what kind of champions they're going to pair with. Usually you want a ball delivery system with her. Nautilus not exactly the best. He's pretty squishy, does get blown up incredibly quick when he does go in, especially with most supports ending up going the Glacial Augment rather than the Aftershock, or the team utility rather than the taking this towards yourself. Gonna be the Fiora band out. Gonna try to take out that split push potential in the top lane. All Unforgiven, an incredibly skilled player here. And it's going to be an Elise band on the other side. One more band left. Could go towards the uh, jungle once more. Really just pinch the pool down. There. Time goes down, and it does end up being... yep, Diana. Target towards jungle once more. I don't think PSU White would have gone for it, but with the jungle pool really getting thin, I mean, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bands toward it, if it is the Echo Jungle. Yeah. Probably gonna go jungle here. Save your last pick for ult Unforgiven the top lane. Make sure he gets that really, really good matchup for him. You can look to play around him as well. And yeah, that's what the Nocturne pick can do. Maybe pick a split pusher, a very strong one. You could go Gwen potentially. While you do still have the Nocturne Orianna, that's the vault over they're looking towards here. Nocturne incredibly good at collapsing into these side lane fights, making the 1v1 a 1v2, maybe the 2v2 into a 2v3 with the paranoia there. Gonna have to blind top lane as well on top of blinding mid. They did get their bot lane counter pick though, so maybe it does say that PSU wants to play around it there. But it's just gonna be the Graves. Pretty flexible, but with this last pick, we'll be able to see exactly which role he is going into. Graves still pretty strong in the top lane, not as strong after the nerf of the course. Hullbreaker, they have the ranged resistances on it. And as well as, I believe Fleet Footwork did get nerfed a tiny bit, which he did take top lane, just for the sustain and trading potential. And it ends up, yeah, it's going to be the Graves jungle, and it's just going to be the blind pick Mordekaiser top here. Gonna keep it consistent, just safe blind picks all around. And the counter pick, will it be the Jax? It's a bit interesting matchup, just because Mordekaiser does steal 10% of the resistances on top of health and AD and AP. So he actually can steal a fair portion of Jax's. And Jax won't get as much value out of his ulti into the AP champion Amord, because when you do build AD, you get more armor when you pop the R. But of course, armor, not exactly the most helpful into the Mordekaiser. Uh, with that, does round off the team. Comes a bit of a weird one coming out from PSU White, because their team doesn't really have much engage, really. It's pretty inconsistent. It's the Ash Arrow you're looking for, or the Charm from Ari. Maybe if it was still season 10, season 9, we could have seen a slow build Ari get Twin Shadows, get that much stronger pick potential going for them. But with that gone, it's a bit harder. Meanwhile, RUL9 pretty simple. Just just to run at them practically. You have your Jackson silently for split pushing. He will most definitely outscale the Mordekaiser. But even before that, really just calm down a bit, wait for 6. You have Oriana, you have Nocturne. Nautilus incredibly strong with all the point and click CC there. PSU White, they do have a pretty fair range advantage in the bot lane early. Will give them pretty good wave control most likely with it. Of course, with so many Ashe W nerfs, it does make it a bit harder for her to get that early priority with it. Let's see here. I'm actually kind of surprised that the Ari was picked for PSU White's main layer, just because, well, one, he doesn't really play many champions, but of those he plays mid, it is mostly it's a kind of a wide pool, really. Most played is the Vex there, which did get through draft, but they didn't want to go towards it. And of course, the Safari pick. Vex, pretty interesting that she doesn't really want to be blinded at all. Of course, the anti-mobility helps really well into very, very few matchups, but when it does help, it pays off in spades there. Meanwhile, I believe Candela, so many games on the Oriana in competitive and solo queue there, very proficient on the champion, and it should be pretty easy composition to execute for RUL9. I mean, you press R, you win the team fight. That is what they're aiming for. Ensure that even if it doesn't work, you have this contingency plan in the Jack split push, in the Zeri, in the Orion, these three hyperscaling champions. They're so good at cleaning up fights that Jack's so hard to match in the side lane as the game goes on. With that, we are going to get into the actual client draft, so it's going to be about 4 or 5 more minutes before we do get into game here. And now let's just continue talking about teams. It's going to be pretty hard for RUL9 to get these fights going, just because if you do manage to, say, Mordekaiser ult is knocked before the ball comes in, you devour your squishy Ashe before you can actually jump onto her. It's going to be a lot harder to get these fights going, especially with the kite ability from PSU White. I mean, Ashe slow, Ari ulti, Graves his dash, Kench gets some move speed again on his ulti. And of course, Mordekaiser does have the 7-second CC of Death Realm to kind of just keep himself safe. It's so much scarier for RUL9 to be picking bad fights. Because if you, say, pick a bad one, no, this is getting ulted by Mord, you don't really have a way to get in, because Nocturne's probably going to get blown up if he tries to dive in. I wouldn't be surprised if Nocturne got, say, an early stopwatch just to help enable these teamfight plays across the map. And I do wonder if RUL9 is going to just try to play a lax game, really. Because with the win condition in this Jack side lane push, you don't necessarily need to be the most proactive. You're fine to have your Nocturne just power farm up to 6. You're fine to just have Zeri and Nautilus kind of just sit under turret and farm up, because you know you're going to be stronger as the game goes on. Kench, of course, just not that strong of a champion anymore. The later the game goes, he's not going to get these like multi-devours in the team fights. His W as an ability practically falls off a cliff if you're playing if you want or are looking to play defensively. And I do want to see Cynical just really not not mess up the W. It's such an important ability here. You really do need to hold it. The Asher, the Ari Charm, the Mortal, or the Tom Kench knockup. All four of these abilities you need to make sure you're not getting hit by, but it's such a tall order with how quick they are to come out. I mean, Ari Charm, Asher, they're practically instantaneous. Mortal, reactable, but really, really hard if you're not paying attention, especially in these really chaotic team fights. But with that, I believe I'm gonna send you off to a short break because I don't really feel like talking. Shoot me. And so with that, I believe I'll return to you when the game starts. So see you then. we're in it, into game 1 of PSU White versus RUL9. We got pings on the map straight towards the bot tribe rush. I don't think they're gonna go for anything too spicy level 1. I'm sure they do have the Ash for the perma, so they have the Kench Q very strong. Of course, I believe it's a 2.5 second slow or 2 seconds slow, maybe even 3. But with these competitive games, you really do want to play it safe unless you have some super secret cheese strats going on. We got triple lethal tempo inside of RUL9 for that really strong extended firepower, especially early from the Jax. It synergizes so well as passes 3 up to 20% attack speed from lethal tempo on top of the lethal from his passive on top of lethal tempo. Really makes it pretty scary if you're Ducklings here in the top lane, especially if you mess up your E. And speaking of supports, it's gonna be Kaimai taking a bit of damage there from the Kench. I'm kind of hard to actually see the passive icons on Kench there with that skin. And looks like a bit of a cheesel one. They want to get their wards early. Oh wait, it's gonna be a late invade actually, utilizing the long slows here to make sure that some flash are being W start Kench. But no, it's gonna be Nia Cowan smartly juking away from him, but it's gonna be Cynical getting chased out of his jungle. The only virus is a man on a mission here, making sure Cynical is gonna be set as far behind as possible. Such a smart play from PSU White, leveraging their level 1 advantage with Kamai backing with the Graves E level 1 for the chase down, the Ash W, and also may I point out, it's gonna be the Hail of Blades Kench in the bottom lane for the extra fight power early. If this Zeri ever gets tagged by Q into W and she doesn't have dash up, she is most certainly getting taken down. And just some smart pathing here from the Graves. Gonna go straight across mid, get some small chip in, and just make sure you're not losing out on this cross map play you did. Hook landing onto Kench, he does have the W, but look, that's half his health gone. He missed XP early, and with that, he's gonna have to pop some potions. Really nice trade back from the Ash though. Lethal tempo paying off in spades there. Gonna be Kaimai popping a ward as ult Unforgiven. Going for a small trade. Ducklings didn't have the up initially, I want to assume, just because of how long it took for him to throw it out. Because of that, he's gonna get chunked a bit lower, as he does have to end up popping a potion, and ult Unforgiven just unrelenting in this pressure here. But yes, going back to that, Graves just wants to make sure that he comes out on top of this in the buff steal. Gonna get his own blue there, so he's not counter jungle, doesn't end up breaking even. So he's just gonna permanently be a camp up on Cynical here in the jungle. Ash E gonna get used, and another great hook on a Kench here. He could go down actually, no heal. And this is gonna be first blood in the bottom lane, a 2v2 kill. Because the only virus got just a little bit greedy here. He doesn't have the Guardian, and he just gets burst down from the Ignite. Exhaust came down a bit too slow, and Zeri, especially early game, in the first couple levels, has so much burst with the W on top of the auto reset on E. A lot more than Ash has, and a lot more than Kench could have sustained there. As the wave does start pushing out top lane, but of course, with both junglers bot side, Duckling should be fine as long as it doesn't get gone on too hard. Corrupting, the last of the corrupting potions pops ult Unforgiven here in the top lane, as Duckwings is just suffering in this matchup for now. Yeah, just another trade Q auto W, chunked even further here. I just had to. I thought I forgot to swap scenes. That would have been a bit troublesome if all you saw was the BRB screen there. But yeah, wave pushing out mid as well. Finkel has yet to take a reset, just cycling through all his camps as if those are actually his respawn raptors he's on. As a really good E from Duckwings, gonna push ult Unforgiven under turret. And yet E flash gonna just barely get dodged out by Fearless Candela. Incredibly important that he got out. That's actually really hard to react to. Makes me wonder if it was a prediction that Ari would go for E-Flash there. But yeah, it's going to be no flashes from either middle laner, with the only Virus going for a really smart roam there. And his ADC isn't missing out much either, because in the bot lane, yeah, the wave was kind of just outside the turn range, so Ashe was never under any threat. And it looks like Ult Unforgiven has come back to lane, has the Vamp Scepter, so even if he does take a bad trade, he doesn't necessarily need to use his Corrupting Potions to sustain back up. He can kind of just all down the way for that lifesteal. Because even though the Vamp Scepter did get the nerf this patch, they did do the healing, kind of the lifesteal, just overpass through all the items, chip him down a little bit. Still fair, still fine. I'm just saying early, even as he does, even as Unforgiven does take a pretty bad trade there. It looks like Sankel's sneaking into the bush. It looks like he just barely wasn't spotted, as Ult Unforgiven gonna get ulted up here in the Death Realm, but because of that, Mordekaiser can't escape to his turret and he's gonna get taken down. Graves is here, but it's a bit too late. Yeah, Sankel just gonna eat up some XP, finally gonna show and leave. As I believe they do have a fairly good timer to go for the Dragon here. Hextech, Dragon, pretty nice. Dragon, even as a standalone, Soul of course incredibly strong, but having is it 6% attack speed and 6 ability haste? That's pretty nice, especially early, because you're getting so much more value out of it than you would have otherwise if you already had like 20 or 30 haste. With that, Sankel just gonna go back and get his first blue buff of the game, actually. It looks like Graves is that could be either Youmuu's into shield, but it could just be Eclipse into Collector. Yeah, Youmuu's is a bit... I'm sorry, Dirk can go either way. Yeah, Sankel gonna be pretty close to the level 6 here, actually. Graves, of course, ahead in XP just because he did walk through mid, did get the double blue buff early. I think that ward actually should take him to 6, the one in the Dragon Pit, but he does miss it. And yeah, the Catwoman, with the wave how it is, he has to burn his E, because if that tongue lash does hit him, it's gonna be so much harder. And it's gonna be Asher whiffing, most importantly. But here comes the Hail Blades procs. Flash aggressively from Ashe. Make sure she keeps the account on, and it does work. The Triumph healing on top. Is the only Virus gonna get out of this? Yeah, it's gonna be double flashes burn. But look at that. The collateral damage gonna take him at the end. The only Virus being sacrificed. But maybe it didn't have to. And yeah, it's gonna be a 1k gold lead now, but that double kill will certainly do PSU White a whole host of favors there, as Ult Unforgiven is just really feeling the pain from these isolated Qs he's repeatedly taking. So much damage being added on there. Sure, he's going Bork, so he's gonna be a lot stronger in the 1v1, but the what's it called? The Tabby gonna be picked up by Mortz, definitely gonna help out a bit in that. Maybe he wants to also go into the Bramble Vest, honestly. With the kill going over to TSH Serial in the bot lane, does almost equalize the gold gap. Of course, there is the 12 CS lead, and it looks like a whole lot of action going across the map. Fearless Kindle once again dodging away from the 3-man mid, just really holding it down there, drawing a fair bit of pressure and not really losing anything out of it. Didn't even need the flash, because it does look like his flash is up sooner than ours, because it looks like he went for the Cosmic Insight secondary. Kamai could be in a bit of danger, but he does have Sankel waiting around the wings, who, may I add, is level 7, has the Paranoia. Looks like Graves is going to get a good chunk of XP and gold as he catches the top wave, but Duck Wings is really feeling the pressure of this counter pick. 27, almost, sorry, about 30 CS downs here, roughly, as Ult Unforgiven gonna take a reset. With Graves covering the top lane, it gives Sankel the go-ahead to just invade the red and take it away from him. With Ult Unforgiven actually be about 1k gold up from a combination of plates, solo kill, and the CS lead there. Gonna have his Bork at 10 minutes into the game, and Sankel is just caught out. Might have to ult offensively under the Ahri, but now just gonna ult onto the Ashe, try escape. Here comes the Orianna, the shield from Ahri on top of the E, gonna mean so much. The ult pop as well. Triumph healing on top, gonna top off to 400. Able to survive the encounter, make a 2-for-0 play, work out in their favor. That is pretty nice for them. 3.3k gold lead. I don't even know what. I like stop talking. I'm like, hold on. No one's here with me. I can't just stop talking. Yeah, keep going. With that, all Unforgiven just wailing on this top turret. Graves called top again. Did get the Herald. That was the trade that was made. Red buff for Herald. 2 kills. Given over was definitely not part of the plan. The Hail of Blades Kench experiment was not exactly working on their favor so far. Wasn't really able to leverage the advantage of having such an aggressive summoner spell early and transform it into a lead in the bot lane that they were probably looking for. With Zeri being up 20 CS, up an item now on the Ashe here. Up 1k gold. Kench obviously 0-3. He's so squishy. No Guardian for the added shield. And just getting blown up a lot this game. Meanwhile, Loot, ult Unforgiven, very good. Just gonna juke out. Here comes the ulti. The resistance is taken from Jax. That's why I talked about the armor get stolen away. Means it's gonna be a 1-for-1, 10% max HP on top of it. And we could get a fight for the dragon here. Dragon stole away. Need a Catwoman pops the ulti. Nausol onto 2. Ashe gets caught out. Fearless Candela trying to make something happen sideways, and it looks like Kench is going to get pulled in by the command shockwave as Zeri goes surfing, trying to find anyone to kill with smooth speed, but not going to find anyone. A 2-for-0 at the dragon, but it's going to be PSU getting the major objective. E-Flash, could this be a turnaround? Collateral damages it up. It is, but it's going to be a solo kill actually from the electrocute pop of the Ahri. Candela did not have the flash used yet at the Dragonfly, I believe, which gave a 0. I'm just gonna calm down. I can't say that name. Gotta give him the time where he needs to take that kill, as well as plates mid for the jungle mid duo of Ahri Graves. Meanwhile, bot lane being shoved in. The Triforce does speed up the take a fair bit. So it's gonna be plates traded across the map. As ult Unforgiven gonna pass mid here, look to soak up the wave of XP as well as the Herald XP, but he's actually looking. Oh my god, so much damage! This Graves is melting. The Q's gonna come up so soon. 1 more second just about. He's trying to juke the charm, but not enough, and now it's so tragic because with ult Unforgiven gonna get taken out with Hail Blades, Kench, the flash autos. But it's going to be the fear. Can they try to turn around? Sankel's trying his best, but he has no mythic to his name against 4. He's going to go down as well. 2-for-1. Ult Unforgiven, maybe a bit of an overstep there. Wasn't able to burst down the Graves like he liked. He tried to Q, but it was just a bit too late. The Charm was able to cancel the dash, and then the Mord came in. Tom Kench as well is going to close the gold lead a bit more here, as Mord catches the mid wave. Looks like Fearless Candela is gonna furiously steal away his jungler's blue buff. Always give second blue of the game to mids. That one I believe was the third though. Honestly, argument may give first blue of the game to mids. Jungler, man. You heard it from me. Just idea when I'm playing, of course. Only when I'm playing it. E gonna be used to try and crash the wave in, but no, it's just gonna whiff, and that gives ult Unforgiven the go-ahead here. Doesn't even need the ult, just gonna burn Mordekaiser's Death Realm. He does have enough space to get under turret though, so he gets out alive, and I believe that Ashe E should spot out the Nocturne. Oh, yep, just barely there. So they do have the information for Sankel. He does almost have the paranoia up to may look for a play bot lane on the timer, because Nautilus does have the flash, does have the ulti, and most importantly, they have enough damage to even burst down this Kench. I'd say he only has the Tabi and Kindle Gem. Sure, he has the E, but with how much damage they're packing, I don't think it'll be enough to save him. Maybe Cynical thinks Graves could be bot side, but looks like they're just gonna try and clear out the vision. I don't think Cynical was seen just yet. Oh, he does get seen though on the minion. They do know that what is happening, and they have called Ari down. It's gonna be a 3v4 potentially. The only virus maybe stepped up too soon though. Here comes it. Cynical actually going on to the Ashe, and because of that, he's gonna get charmed up. Locket can. Kai might get out. This is a 3v4 may I add, and the Dredge line just barely whiffing, and look at Zeri. This is the comfort zone. So much move speed. The extended fights are so good for her, and she's gonna look onto the Ashe. It's gonna work. The chain lightning on top. Can they get the dive? It's gonna be a 3-for-1. Nita Catwoman is unleashed on the map. Maybe could even turn it onto the Graves there. As Fearless Kendall just pushes down the mid lane, because Mordekaiser went to match the push there. Top turret's gonna go down. That's gonna be first turret of the game potentially, and it's gonna be mid as well. Oh, just barely not gonna be able to. Once that mid turret gets broken down, it's gonna be so nice for Cynical. Gonna make looking for these paranoia plays so much easier. With how many more wards need to be committed towards the top and bottom side of the jungle, just to make sure that they don't get in as easily. KR gang gonna go towards the dragon. 17 seconds is the timer here. Oriana has picked up the Leandries, which I'm not sure is the greatest. I think they are kind of incentivized by Merc Treads with Naus, but maybe Ludens could be better. It's hard to say. I'm not the most certain on Arya's build, but it looks like they could try to sneak away this dragon, because look, fight on multiple fronts. Ashe sacrifice as they're trying to burst down this dragon, but they just don't have the damage. Nollasult onto the Graves, and it's gonna be Kench Wing out, Graves ulting out, and it's gonna be a dragon going over to Rutgers L9. Just not playing around paranoia, which is not something that's very easy. That's why I would say Kench obviously did not have the Devour up. Ashe was a bit separated from the team. She didn't want to be in the pit, but because of that, it made her the very easy ult target. And with ult Unforgiven pushing down the bot lane and RUL9 onto the Herald, it's so hard to claw for PSU White to claw their way back into this game. 2 levels up is ult Unforgiven versus Duckwings here, and Single is gonna get seen maybe. The only virus can make something happen. Does whiff the Tongue Lash though, and yeah, he does have the backup mid lane, so they're gonna smartly pass away from him. 2 items to 1, 60 CS. Ult Unforgiven is gonna just keep pushing and pushing and trying to push his lead as far as he possibly can. Because as long as he's creating map pressure, his job is done. The more people he draws bot, the better. Especially with Baron coming up in a minute 30. RUL9 just needs to make sure that they don't give up any objective items. It's so easy, especially for the mid turret to go down in the blink of an eye with these plates falling off. That's... oh, could be face check, yeah. EC chain, but oh my, maybe RBF North GQ. She's trying to ult away as fast as she can, and here comes the Mordekaiser ulti. Wait, it's not even up actually. Because of that, Cynical can make his way in. It's just gonna be a 1v2. Oh, Unforgiven's unleashed on the map. No Death Realm. Ari didn't chain her CC well enough, I'd say. I believe the charm was a bit too fast, but even with that, the flash trade just to escape, and KR gang stepped up a bit too far. Here comes Sinalis, he's tanking the turret. And meanwhile, Cynical is just wailing on him. Ult Unforgiven doesn't even care for it. He's just gonna push in the wave, make sure they get this bot turret as low as possible. And yep, here's the Herald. They picked it up a couple of minutes back, and now it is being committed for this bot inhib turret. They're gonna get the charge off. I don't believe they get the turret. They don't have the wave. But this Graves is gonna be so far behind. It's gonna all his bot side camps are gonna get taken. They're probably gonna pass top check to see if the camps there are up. They do see blues coming up soon. They have the potential to go for it. But they are sitting on a lot of gold in their pockets, all under getting sitting on 2.5k. And meanwhile, Graves is actually going to go into debt here. Didn't realize he had the futures market, but looks like he does. Has been a bit of a bit more popular recently, the futures market on junglers and mid laners. So there's that. Looks like Ahri's going to be going for the Void Staff second item, which I don't think is the greatest, just because I don't think they necessarily need the damage from Ahri to be winning these fights. They're all of RUL9 are already so squishy. I think it'd just be better to get more spell rotations out. Maybe go Cosmic Drive, maybe even just go just go CDR boots with that. And all over here, just gonna face check. I mean, no one can match him here on this Jax pick. Ahri's trying her best to catch him out, but look at that, the Q auto W. Oh my god, that Q almost killed actually. There, yeah, it's just so hard. Mordekaiser can't match, he's gonna get blown away. Sure, he gets the top by Bramble, but that Jax is almost 3 items. No boots even needed. Hook landing on to Thomas Kench there. Double the knockup from him to Peel is not gonna be enough as Candela picks him up a double kill mid lane. And while all of this is happening, Jax is just pushing. Who's gonna stop him? You need at least 2 or 3 people, but you're committing all those people to get vision in your bot side jungle to try and contest this next dragon. And with it going down, you're already face checking blinded and all us. So they're going down. Now they're just onto the Baron with the man advantage. You can't possibly look for a steal. It's already down with how fast Zeri and Jax take it. And with that, they're just gonna reset, look to play for this drag coming up in 20 seconds. I want to see pink wards in the inventory, boys. I'll give Nita Cowan a pass. He came out with literally 0 gold. Kendall, on the other hand, better than this bro. Graves gonna try to sneak his way in here, maybe look for a miracle steal, but it's gonna be so hard. They have so many ways to check for vision here. All the wards in the world on this Nautilus. Ahri's managed to sneak her way in here actually as Jax pushes in. And it's gonna be a 4v4 in the river here called. But Dragon's just gonna be slowly chipped away at. Ashe ult laying onto Zeri, but that's not exactly the target you need to hit. I don't even. Yeah, it's just gonna be collateral damage used to check for it. But not gonna be enough. Jax takes the reset, has the Death Dance now. And it's gonna be third dragon going over to RUL9. The account gonna surf down, get the bot wave pushing out here, as they are just zoned ruthlessly by the Nautilus. Nautilus went ahead so oppressive. How would you possibly walk up if you're just gonna eat an ulti from him and get blown up here? Thankle still has the paranoia, there's Renning, but look, it's 5 bot lane versus 3. Kaimai's gonna try to get out. Maybe a flash ultimate from Mordekaiser could work. You get that guaranteed pick. But no TP behind them. It's gonna be the Jax are gonna try to turn. But look at that beautiful hook on Ahri. She's gonna get down easily. As look, 3-man Counter-Strike stuns full on Forgive Me. Here comes the boys. TP as well. Thankle gonna look onto Ducklings now. But Deathworm gonna run out. Solo kill because of it. And Tom Kench gonna bleed out there as well. And it's just gonna be 5-man pushing bot lane. A beautiful TP from the ward from Ult Unforgiven, as well as a Baron push. Means this game is probably gonna be wrapped up. Flash heal aggressively. Ult Unforgiven gonna look. Oh my god, Q auto E auto. Q auto W E auto, and Ashe is gone. Shockwave gonna whiff, but that is just a 24-minute dub for RUL9 here. A pretty abrupt ending. They tried to make a play happen bot, but did not pan out for them. Just the gold lead, too insurmountable for PSU White there. Unfortunately, looks like the spec tool is still incredibly broken for post game, but here you can see whatever this is supposed to be. With that, I'm gonna head to a very short break. I'll see you folks then.
Oh, they were full. They were full. Wait, I'm hearing Tim's comment. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I watched some of it.
Did. Welcome back, guys, to Game 2 of Scarlet Classic 7 Quarterfinals of PSU White versus RUL9. Last game ended up in a victory for RUL9. They were able to leverage their early advantage and snowball really hard with their winning topside matchup. And the plays mid did not work out for PSU White. Fearless Candela able to dodge out on so many 3-mans. And I do have two very special guests today for Game 2 and potentially Game 3. I have here MusicIsNice, also known as at July, and we have at Kaizen, also known as what the fuck you want to be called?
Anything works.
Yeah, we're
Hello guys,
we're gonna
hello.
hop in. Oh, we actually are in draft. X fucking D. Oopsie. Hit transition. All right, missed some of it. But bans are actually pretty much exactly the same, other than it looks like a Zeri ban from PSU White this time around. As you see, RUL9 is blue side. And let's see who they first pick. Could go safe blind pick as PSU White did, but maybe more. Ooh, I like.
Interesting.
It's very interesting to see that PSU is actually banning out all the hyper carry champions on Joe. Because I know the Zeri performed very nicely last game, but but I personally consider Zeri very easy to take advantage on if they play it right.
Yeah. Another interesting thing about the Kaisa pick is that usually teams do like to pick it just because of the flex potential, but I don't believe Candela plays in the mid lane, so it's probably gonna go towards need a Catwoman in the ADC role there. And it's just gonna be counter pick here coming in for Sankel with the Trundle into Zinzao. One of the picks he's really comfortable on into it. And it's just gonna be, I want to say, probably gonna be support pick here as well, before the pool gets too pinched for champions that work really well with the Kai'Sa bot lane. You could look towards Galio, Nautilus, maybe even Leona. Rel works as well. It's most likely gonna be the lethality Zaya coming in here for PSU
Oh,
White's
here comes the
ADC.
Candela Victor pick.
Yeah,
I'm surprised the solo lanes picked faster. Before waiting for counter picks. I guess it also would have to do with the fact that Tim doesn't play a lot of champions, or rather, he doesn't have that many champions that he feels comfortable with in mid lane, as far as I know. So that might be why they were inclined to pick Victor early on. Now here comes the second ban wave around. Let's see what PSU is gonna ban.
Are you
yeah.
looking to ban something on the top side? Perhaps the Jax from last game to stop him from such a strong pressure on top side?
What I think you could do is just look to take out champions that could counter a support you'd want with Zaya. Like maybe you want to target a Morg ban. Rakan, of course, still open. Looks like it could get taken out by RUL9. Funnily enough, I don't. Zaya Rakan isn't, I'd say, the best bot lane support you could pair with her anymore.
I
There's
agree.
so many
I agree
champions
with
that
Keldric.
do better. You could go Nautilus, you could go Rel. Both work a lot stronger just because it lot longer CC chain and a lot stronger in the early game there.
You know,
Gonna
I
be a
think that
couple of it.
especially with the fact that with current Zaya's meta trend, where she builds Manamune and Eclipse, and goes very lethality slash pokey damage build, I don't think Rakan works very well with that either. So it doesn't really benefit Zaya's team to pick Rakan here.
Yeah. As Wayne did say, it's gonna be the Jax band coming in here. Very strong strong pick from game one taken out. I believe it's gonna be last pick saved for PSU White's top lane, so it's gonna be all Unforgiven on the receiving end of blind picking top lane.
Right.
And
That
it
is
does.
interesting actually, because if you look at it, RUL9 doesn't really have a extremely strong engage. Their
Oh,
current only engage is really just Trundle. So they're probably looking to pick something, perhaps in the top or maybe
I don't
support, looking
I
for a
don't
stronger
believe
engage.
Old Unforgiven typically does play the engage style champions.
I
Right, he
More
believe
goes for
focused
a
so.
on
stronger top
yeah,
side, like a laner was.
yeah.
So Kaimai's gonna have to take the responsibility as an engage.
Yeah, not that he minds, so he does play many of the engage champions on Nautilus
However,
once again for him.
it's looking pretty tough for Kadela in the mid lane right here. He's playing Victor into Xin and also Lissandra. A I would say pretty strong pick type of. Oh, the
Oh,
Renekton.
Renekton pick.
That's not what I was
Yeah,
expecting. Renekton
I
is
don't. I do not think that Alt Unforgiven knows how to play Renekton comfortably. I know he has dabbled with it here and there, but I saw the Fiora ban, and I was assuming that
yeah, maybe
you know
Aatrox.
Aatrox was gonna be the pick here, but Renekton comes in and it comes out with the Scion counter
Yeah,
pick.
I mean we
Renekton isn't gonna be able to do that much top lane against Scion if Scion plays safe, but that means that Renekton can move down to help Candela in the mid lane with Lissandra and Pyke and Zhao consistently lurking. So we'll see how that goes. What do you guys think about the comp?
I'd
I
say
think.
yeah, you go first.
Yeah. Okay. I think PSU really wanted to look for a strong emphasis on their mid jungle pressure, especially with the Pike pick right here. Potentially to look for roams to make plays on mid lane, and probably to secure Drakes for this game. And if you look on REL9, they're looking for a somewhat evened out team comp, honestly. To kind of, I guess you want to make sure that you peel away from Lissandra or Shinjao, right? So they went for a pretty, I would say conservative pick on their side.
Yeah. Another thing about this Scion pick is that with the Trundle early rotation, it does typically wean you off playing the really hyper tanky champions. Just because Trundle does benefit so much from having the target to ult, because the heal is based off max health, steal away a fair portion of the resistance. It's going to be so much harder for Cynical to be caught out in these fights. I really do hope Lissandra doesn't take Aftershock as well, because that just makes her another really easy target, especially once the Aftershock wears off. I believe it's impossible to go like the single digit or negative resistances with Subjugate placed on you. Another thing is, with how fairly short range some of the champions on what's it called PSU is, especially if you're finding these chokes against RUL9 when you're having to check into potentially uh I don't think Kai'Sa would go the AP build this game. I assume just because you already have the Nautilus and Victor.
I do
But
not think so either. It's
yeah,
the
you should.
game will depend heavily on PSU being able to prioritize their early to mid game lead, where Zenza, Lissandra, and Pike ideally roaming together and exercising enormous amount of map pressure will determine their snowball. So if they could get that going, they would be considerably in a huge amount of gold favor if they're able to do it correctly.
Hmm, yeah. Speaking of snowballing this Pike pick, as long as they're really able to leverage his, I believe it's just from below, uh, really getting the cuts onto his teammates, onto himself, will really just help accelerate any early game advantages they can find, especially post 6 when it's a lot safer for this Pike to look for these cross map plays. Because pre 6, it can be a bit scary for Pike to be leaving the Zaya alone with the Nautilus being so strong with engages early. And with that, I believe we're gonna head to a smallish break. Return to you when the game begins. So see you bet. 1, go. Welcome back to game 2. PSU White versus JV. No, wait, not JV. Shit. RUL9. RUL9 on the blue side this game. We got PSU White on the red side here. I believe PSU White did have side selection because they did lose game 1. And they're looking to turn it around with some spicy picks here, such as Predator, Lissandra mid, and the Pike in the support role.
30 seconds.
Looks like they're going to be able to slip into the Tri-Brush here. And looks like ChiMeng does spot them out. They do see him peek. They peek out right there. So they're going to have to call for the invade.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake coming from PSU side.
Yeah, but with that knowledge that they invade, Sanko is going to be able to get a deep ward into the red buff of PSU White. Going to be able to see what side KR Gank starts on. Yeah, it looks like just going to be pretty standard start. KR Gank going to be passing towards top here. May look to either go like a buff Gromp buff into mid. That is lookable. Lissandra is so nice when it comes to ganks up. It does look like Fearless Candela didn't go the cleanse this game, actually. So that level 6 timer is going to be something we'll want to pay attention to for Lissandra here. As Ult Unforgiven has snuck in, and a late W from Duckwings means that he's going to take a lot of damage there. Well, just small trades here and there from both sides. Meanwhile, ChiMeng and Talon are pushing in here. Hook lands onto Pike, but look at that Hail Blades autos. Exhaust as well.
Okay, Nita Catwoman is in trouble. He goes down to the Xayah. It does look like the ChiMeng will be able to get a trade.
Oh, Pike misses the hook.
Oh, that was very crucial hook.
Yeah, but look,
I
the
think
lethal
Zach is able to pick up the kill.
Just barely at the tail end of it.
Barely.
Yeah, the Q looked like it was gonna whiff, but well, last smidge of Nautilus' model was clipped by the second part of it. And yeah, that's just Nita Catwoman getting a bit too aggressive early there. And Sanko has just invaded flagrantly, and he spots KR Gang's gonna beat him down with the club.
Oh, it looks like the jungler's battle is gonna end in Cynical's favor. Cynical really prioritizing his matchup lead and is counter jungling confidently, knowing that Candela is pushing the opponent into the tower. But however, the bot lane lead is gonna enable the Pike to roam a lot earlier than he was supposed to. So it's gonna be an interesting viewpoint in the mid lane.
Weirdly enough, it looks like, despite having the lethal tempo on the side, he's going to be going for the Eclipse build, but cutting that out, it looks like it's a dive.
Comes the down tower dive.
Yeah, just really well played. Sanko was able to tank it up. Renekton had the Fury stack pushing the wave in, which means that while... yeah.
Ult Unforgiven, very clean execution, yes, that's what I was gonna say. The Fury stack W was able to successfully destroy the shield and put a huge amount of damage. There's not even a time to react on the side of Duckwings, and it looks like Duckwings is taking another heavy trade.
Oh.
Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Nita Catwoman gets hooked by Pike, gets ganked by KR Gank, and it's a free kill down bot lane.
Oh, Pillar just
burns
barely.
Top laners still looking to engage.
Oh, Duckwings is about to die again? Oh my god, Duckwings' laning phase is really unfavorable now.
And while the first death wasn't as bad as it could have been because he had the Silent Passes to farm most of the wave, the next death he was so far from his turret because he was trying to escape it, and while he did get both splashes, that's still a full like wave or two he's going to be missing out on.
An interesting viewpoint that I was going to make is that the Xayah on PSU is actually going the lethality poke build, meanwhile taking the lethal tempo rune, which does not really work. So it's gonna be interesting how Xayah is gonna play this out.
Yeah, maxing W as well. Definitely a bit of mismatch as you said between the rune page and the spells build.
It
Meanwhile,
looks like the Xayah player doesn't have a very good grasp of how Xayah is supposed to work with the current meta build.
yeah, MOBA fire gone wrong. What's that? Looks like small trade top lane.
I mean,
All
now
Unforgiven just once again having his way with Duckwing in the top lane matchup due to the early plays from Cynical.
looks like KR Genk is looking to make some bot plays right now. Doesn't look like they're gonna commit.
And oh,
Cynical had a nice little round trip in his bot jungle, looking for nothing.
yeah, and looking at PSU, what they actually have a fair bit of vision in Cynical's jungle as well. The entrance by the Raptors as well as the ward going into the river completely ward out. They know exactly where he currently is, which makes KR Gank's job a bit easier if he's trying to maybe get a counter gank going, or maybe look to salvage this top lane matchup, but it's gonna be so scary as Renekton is level 6 now. And Cynical is
Potentially
very
looking
quickly.
for something in mid lane.
I mean, with the advantage that right now, I think Renekton would be able to 2v1 the Sion and Xin Zhao if he plays it right.
Yeah,
Touch
and
goes
it
in
looks
with
like-
ultimate. Oh, Pike misses the E.
Oh, but
Yeah.
lands the hook?
Meanwhile,
But that
fighting
doesn't
in the
connect.
top
Oh, okay, the flash coming out from Lissandra. KR Genk here to back up, but he's too late to the action.
Yeah, meanwhile, top lane, Duckwings, it took a very favorable trade because of that. All Unforgiven is looking for the dive. He makes it look easy the way he plays top lane.
Oh my god, Dogwings is not having a good time up there, huh?
Yeah, but still, despite that, he got about 3/4 of that huge stacked wave. Once again, that's the power of the sound pick for you, even though this is the matchup he picked into. 0-3-0 is definitely not what he imagined it to be come at the 7-minute mark here.
Both junglers pathing bot side, however, Cynical does have a level lead on the Xinjiao, and Xinjiao's nowhere to be 6 right now.
Yeah. But that's what I was talking about earlier on. It was very good of PSU White to look mid with the Lissandra L6 tire, but the E flash from Pyke whiffing was catastrophic for them. It allowed the trade kill to happen. Lissandra had to burn flash in order to finish him off. And most importantly, this Victor is accelerated towards that first E augment, which will make his life so much easier in this matchup.
It looks like Xayah's transitioned into Noon Quiver.
Guess you're looking for another play in mid lane.
Yeah, ult from Sion to just
Alt Unforgiven. Yeah, just to barely make it out alive from that trade. He was actually gonna... Alt Unforgiven was actually gonna transition that into a kill if Sion had not ulted early.
yeah. And that
Vision
sound
on
from
Drake.
the Victor is the sound of E of being evolved here. For him. Oh, that was almost a really nice hook on
Dodged the
now.
hook.
But yeah, very good dodge as you said.
A KR Gank taking Dragon for free based on their bot lane lead.
Yeah.
It looks like the mid lane is also ahead in level, so they have a pretty good snowball going mid and bot lane. So let's see how it's gonna be. Oh, it looks like there's gonna be a 4-man gank coming into the bot lane.
Yeah, they really need to get after your
Diving,
top lane.
coming.
Meanwhile, another dive for you happening, but looking bot here, they're gonna have to heal away from this Pyke. Here comes the Lissandra Predator popped potentially. No.
Oh,
Here comes the
barely
flash.
dodges the
Oh,
hook.
they barely leave.
Interesting enough, Cynical not taking Herald while their entire team is bot side.
Yeah.
He could really look for something in the mid lane.
That Raptor
Top
can't
lane's doing
farm
fine so
himself.
far.
Looks like Trundle is taking the jungle of KR Gank instead of the objective. So we'll see how that's gonna go.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Fearless Candel make a small
Looks like
trade
Alt Unforgiven coming down to the mid lane,
Yeah. Not what.
but can't really find anything.
Meanwhile, Cynical is looking on the Duckwings here. Pillar gonna be able to disrupt him a bit, but just a bit too slow. Got tagged by the E from Sion. But now Duckwings is completely zoned from this wave because of Trundle's presence in the area.
Okay, now Cynical's gonna do his his fair share of the objective game by taking the Herald.
And look, Kaimai's moved up here to just cover Sanko while he takes his objective. Very smart play from him. And Nita Catwoman maybe stepping up a bit too far. Ulti, yep. But look, the follow-up hook, he's still too slow.
Gets hit by everything.
Yeah.
And Nita Catwoman goes down. What happened to the vengeance that happened last game? Does nowhere to be seen.
But look, top lane, it's just a tale of two lanes here. All Unforgiven.
Looks like there's gonna be a power Herald play mid lane to funnel gold into the Candela player.
Yeah. Top mid, so nice for RUL9, but Nita Catwoman just kind of needs to suck it up. I mean, Kaimai's making all these cross-map plays, a hook landing as well.
Oh, Kaimai lands a drench line. KR again gets forced to flash away with ulti.
Yeah, and they are able to prevent the Herald from getting a second charge there, which helps a whole lot. But that is some mid-turret broken open at 11 minutes. Ulti from Candela committed to clear out the wave, which I do like. Dragon spawning in 2-3 minutes. He doesn't need the ulti. There's nothing to be fighting over.
And meanwhile, at the top lane, you know, the huge CS and the EXP differential between Duckwings and Unforgiven is pretty much unplayable for Duckwings right now.
Duckwings hasn't been able to step up to the turret for the past like 2 minutes or so. 3 levels down. He is a total of 3k gold behind Old Unforgiven here. And this was the matchup he picked into.
Yes, it's really interesting how he played the Sion early game. He took some unfavorable trades here and there rather than safely farming.
Yeah, and because of that, Sanko was able to freely pass up, dove him, and then they just re-dove him on the TP. And meanwhile, bot lane, they're looking for a play. Face check! But the double root to the stun.
N0 face checks.
But yeah, this is
picks up the kill. Pike.
Oh, Pike is here for the save.
Stun.
Oh, the flash from Cynical and Pike.
Yeah, double shutdown.
Shutdown goes to the ADC.
Yeah. That's probably the best case scenario. Shutdown onto Zyabo is also a kill with in the X, so Pike still gets the 600 gold from the ulti. And if I saw that correctly, he's rocking the Treasure Hunter, so good on him. That's even more money in his bank. Gonna be able to get the early Duskly, which I'm not sure if you still go on Pike support. But he does
yeah, that's where you still go on Pike support. It's still quite decent.
And meanwhile, Nita Catwoman gonna go the Sork, so it does look like he's going the Luden's build. Didn't pick up the early Dirk either, so that also could have been a tell. I don't really like the fact that Nita Catwoman's going for the Luden's build, especially because he's already so far behind that getting to the 2-item spike is really far away for him.
Yeah,
I think he's really looking to
AP Kai'Sa is one of those champion builds where it requires a lot of resources funneled into the Kai'Sa before she's actually useful. And it doesn't look like, you know, that's the case with Nita Catwoman here in this game, where he's going 1-3-1 and he's not able to get enough gold to be able to poke them out. But we'll see how it goes. And for PSU, it looks like they are going to give up this dragon because Alt Unforgiven has descended from the top realm to
to flex
show his
wallet.
presence.
Well, he is still about 400 gold down on the Zai. He is still a Renekton that is level 11.
There's a huge tower dive play incoming, possibly.
But look, it's Lissandra. Oh, but their face check, that changes
everything. The Pike face
about
checks
this.
gets instantly deleted.
Goes right onto the
Zaya is there to do some damage. Zaya, oh, flash E. Oh, but Renekton is too
unable to
strong.
take Renekton.
Look at that. Sign TP's in, but it's a bit too little, too late. It's gonna be a 5-0 play, I believe. Oh, Cynical. One auto, yeah, he's taken out. So it's a 2 for 5, but that was just catastrophic for them.
That was indeed very catastrophic.
Zaya
Putting a lot of sums, unable to shut down the Renekton. That was really close, but unfortunate for PSU. Renekton still managed to dive onto their bot lane, actually one-shotting their Pike, and
looks like Pike is able to get a solo kill on Nita Catwoman mid lane.
Yeah, that's the death
And
pick.
there's a back TP going from Lissandra back to the Unforgiven. Let's see if she can make a play here.
Shutdown.
Oh, she gets a very fat shutdown. 950 gold funneled into the mid laner. It was a very good TP indeed.
Yep. With that, gold lead still gonna be around 2k, which was what it was before the 5 for 2, and that's mostly because huge shutdown on the Renekton coming in there. It looks like Fairness Kendall just gonna feast on the top side camps of Sankel there. Gonna look to accelerate himself that much further. Probably gonna, I wanna say it's gonna be Zanya's second for him, which does help so much against the Pike and Lissandra if he does get gone on. So much dive coming in from the side of PSU White. It looks like Renekton gonna be picking up his second item, Death Dance here. They're gonna try to clear out some more vision around the Herald, which is spawning in about a minute or so. Well, Zaya's going for the second item, LDR. Pretty necessary. She did end up going Dragons there, because it's kind of on her to kill everyone this game. Lissandra is not exactly known for being able to bust down healthier targets in the Renekton and this Trundle in this Nautilus.
In gold wise, PSU and Rutgers L9 aren't that very there isn't that much difference. There's around like 2k of a gold lead on Rutgers L9 side, but I do not think that's very game detrimental. But this play can change everything. Let's see how this team fight rolls out.
Yeah. Lissandra coming in from the side, good ulti.
Okay, our gang gets chain CC'd and unable to do anything. Zaya gets caught in crossfire, and the mid laner of PSU is able to trade kills with Nita Catwoman, but that was not a very good trade. The Pike coming in with some ultimate
the only
damage.
virus is coming up huge. Look at him go. A second reset. That time giving gold to Lissandra. First one was onto the Zaya. Second, no, actually has two cuts onto the Lissandra there. Now he's gonna try and make something happen, but no, they're not gonna face check. They're just gonna have to take a recall. It looked like Zaya was gonna be able to make something happen, but then Renekton able to get on her literally 100 to 0 in the blink of an eye before she could do anything there. And it's gonna be two turrets taken down in the mid lane.
It looks like the gold differential on the top lane is around 4k between the Scion and the Renekton.
Yeah, Scion doesn't even have his mythic yet, and Renekton's looking towards his third item for the time being.
And this gold lead can actually be a little deceptive because a lot of this gold lead from even though they're only down 3k, a large portion of their gold lead between champions is the 3k lead Pike has on the Nautilus. And while Pike, it is nice for him to have the gold, his execute does execute that much more. Actually getting off damage in these fights as Pike is so much harder.
Gonna be a pick? Oh,
there's a flash
on
immediately.
Candela immediately.
Yeah. So much face checking happening in this game, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that the Pike is actually running Yomu's Ghostblade instead of Umbriel's Glaze.
Especially with...
I do believe that is a much stronger item on Pike, especially because they're playing so well in the Vision.
Yeah. With these strong pick champions in the Pike, the Predator.
Oh, it looks like the mid laner from PSU is about to get caught out.
Oh, he's gonna try to buy as much time as possible. Because look, 3 people pushing top.
Oh, the TP! They don't even know!
The pillar stops the TP.
Yeah, gonna self-ult as well, most likely just make sure her team gets as much time as possible. But yeah, she's gonna get taken out here. That was almost a
looks like they will trade Dragon as well.
Yeah.
Really risky play coming from PSU. And trade for a top lane priority and some topside vision.
Yeah. Baron coming up in 30 seconds, so the wards are gonna be pretty helpful in getting info on that. But yeah, it's gonna be 2 dragons to 1, as you said.
Very interesting to see. Like, blue side right now, RUL9 has almost no vision in the top side.
Yeah, with how much time they've been committing towards the bot side of the map with the mid play and the bot play there. They just haven't had the time to look.
Yeah. Now really trying to prep that Baron fight. Baron coming up in 5 seconds. Now they're
Alt Unforgiven sitting on both Gore Drinker and Death Dance. I do not think PSU has either enough damage or heal cut to deal with that kind of Renekton at this moment.
once GA comes out, it's gonna be quite a rough team fight for PSU.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Zaya working towards her third item there. And as I say that, need a Catwoman. The Luden's completed. He's about 1 amp tome off of getting the W evolve, which is really where this AP Kaisa build begins to take off. Because looking at PSU White, it's really only the Scion that can be tanking these Ws when they're trying to enter into the objective into the river, into the
It looks like both teams are gathering around Baron to see. Oh, here's a hook from Virus.
Yeah.
Is that a pick? Oh, the Virus.
Another hook
the
going
Virus
in
hook
on
gets a
Masandra.
pick on himself, and his team gets caught in the collateral damage. It looks
Oh,
like
and
Luke's
the ulti.
going in on the ward. Oh, the drench line on the Zaya. Zaya's unable to escape.
Immediately one shot by the Crocodile.
It looks like
PSU.
that was a
going
4-0
down.
trade.
Yeah. A hook
Maybe in a
onto the
5-0?
Nautilus is not a hook if you're trying to win the game. Immediately knocked up by the ulti from Nautilus, so his E got stopped. And then Lissandra tried to double down, and they can actually
They're
look
looking to end the
here.
game here.
Yeah, they have the wave. They're trying their best to kill it. Pike E
Oh, the
flash.
flash
Wade's
on
just gonna
Virus. The
take it
Virus
down.
is too squishy to do anything.
Yeah, he's
A
burning.
Ducky with
He burns
Duckwings
to
just-
Lissandri's, but I think that Duckwings is able to get the wave, so I don't think he can just yet. KR gang trying to prevent them from pushing any further, and that's just inhib and Nexus turret down.
Zaya really needs the Infinity Edge to be able to do a considerable amount of damage into their team. But it doesn't look like she has enough gold just yet, and while she is building towards the power spike item, they might just be able to take Baron and end the game, as Rutgers RUL9 is very ahead.
I must say, at this point in the game, the Zaya build really showed its weaknesses because she can't walk up to the Renekton and the Trundle. She can't gain the range that she needs for her auto attacks.
Right.
Oh, Kaisa lands a W instantly one shot.
Oh my god, instantly one-shots.
Yeah, that's what we're talking
Zaya.
about. That W, the W items came. The items came in. Luden, Sorks has the W evolve as well. So even if she didn't take the ulti there, she can still keep on firing. And yeah,
you
it's
see
just
the Kaisa coming back into the game, even though with a very bad early game disadvantage. Now she's getting her powers back from her items.
Virus is lurking around Baron, but they don't have
yeah, Kaimai's
they don't
just
have
been
enough
sent
people to
out.
be around for the steal. Looks like KR Gank is not able to do anything. Gets instantly caught out by a Vic.
Look at that.
The
Here comes
W
the
and
W's.
lands
Another.
on.
And yeah, that's gonna
Here's
be on like
another
a
one.
4-second cooldown. Here comes another. Yeah, it's going on a 3-second cooldown when the W hits. They really can't be tanking these any longer. Wave gonna get killed, making it so much easier. Hook landing.
Oh, the branch line lands on the Lysandra. Lysandra forced to go in, but gets instantly bursted. The Zaya is able to do some damage, but does not have enough Infinity Edge, so it does not have enough damage to do anything towards their tanky comp. The Scandala flashes in for the E auto and empowered auto, and Zaya just gets one shot.
Yeah, Pike missed.
And it
This
looks like
game.
the Rutgers RUL9 takes the game. Now it will be 2-0 on PSU. KR looking to do some last efforts here, but does not really.
Yeah,
turn this
looking
into
like
anything.
a Morbius sweep here coming out for RUL9. GG's called.
Oh, Unforgiven diving in their fountain.
Unforgiven runs into the fountain there. And it's gonna be a 2-0 for RUL9. A huge performance coming in from all Unforgiven and Cynical that game, I'd say. They played that so well, playing around the Scion pick, make sure he's so far behind, getting this Renekton ahead for the just to make it so they had that beefy front line to just dive onto the Zaya repeatedly. Every single fight, it was just Zaya getting jumped on by ult Unforgiven. She couldn't play the game even after ulting. They just never really had a foothold in the game, PSU, Wyatt.
Yeah, so the thing that I was very surprised was that that was surprised about was the fact that Pike did not exercise his map pressure very early on in the game when he had the lead. And it also has to do with the fact that he rushed Duskblade, which doesn't really do much in Pike until mid to late game, where he's able to get one shot by people, so he really needs invisibility. But rather, first item, he could have won Umbral and took total control of vision to look for some easy picks around the bot side of the jungle, but that did not get done as often they should have done to offset the gold deficit they were making on the top lane. So that
Right, I
was
was
something that could have done.
super, super, super surprised to see that. For sure, Pike, if he had gone the other item, he would have gotten his Power Spike much sooner, as well as a lot better vision for mid lane. Regardless, I feel like they did a really great job with vision in the early mid game phase, but they didn't really take control over the game. Some pretty unfortunate plays in bot lane, and yeah, the bot lane lead didn't really go anywhere, which is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, I also saw KR Gank hovering topside quite often this game, where whereas he should have just completely ignored top lane because it was a lost cause and focused on their snowball lead on the bot lane, but that did not happen, unfortunately, as often as it should have as well, which led to mid lane Candela just free farming and being able to scale, as well as Nita Catwoman being able to pick up some gold from the top. Uh, top alt unforgiven descending into the mortal realm and killing everyone in one combo. So it was a good game by RUL9, very clean execution.
And with that, I believe this brings this match of quarterfinals to a close. I'm pretty sure we'll return to you tomorrow at I believe it was what's it called 8:30 for Rutgers Needs Jerseys versus Nispral V9. And with that, I'd like to thank uh, June and Wang here for co-casting with me. And we'll see you tomorrow with Dan and I believe. Any
Thank you
closing
very
remarks?
much.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day, everyone.
See ya.
Peace.